Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Sorry there's been a little delay between last week's video, well not last week, the week before's video and this week's video. I have to say 2025 is kicking my butt a little bit at the moment. It's just taking a little while to get back into the swing of things, post-Christmas, post-holidays and things like that. There's quite a few changes going on, not for me personally or anything like that, but just I don't know, there's a lot of things happening, like very small things individually, little individual things to do with family and kind of personal relationships. I'm still married, don't worry. But family things that are going on, and then work is starting to increase again because it's getting towards, I know it's still the depths of winter, it's still January, but we are starting to work more towards that summer festival season, which I tend to work a lot through. And so work's starting to ramp up in terms of intensity. And then I'm doing a lot of work behind the scenes. I'm actually doing a lot of reading at the moment and a lot of research around some of the kind of more chatty videos that I want to do. So there's plenty going on in the background, and it does mean that, I've needed to take just a little bit of extra time in between videos this month. But I wanted to introduce to you a new reading series, I guess, that I'm wanting to do, and it's called the 100 Books in 100 Years Challenge, or the 100 Years in 100 Books Challenge. I'm not really quite sure. I've seen this kind of challenge toted around many different places on the internet, and everybody seems to do their own different version of it. So I think I'm going to talk to you through what my version of the challenge is going to be and how I'm going to do it. Now, it sounds very intense, 100 books, and 100 books is an awful lot. Just to set the record straight, I am not doing this within a year. Absolutely not. First of all, I've already stated this year that I'm not doing reading goals or anything like that. I don't like them. It puts undue pressure. And so I don't want this to become a pressured challenge. It's more a structured way for me to broaden my reading horizons and to look back through the history of novel writing over the last 100 years and to see what I can learn, understand, and just generally broaden myself as a reader, so that hopefully that feeds down into my work as a writer. So that's kind of aims and ambitions of this challenge. So the way that I'm going to do it is that I've gone back 100 years, which, if you're good at maths like me, is 1925, was 100 years ago from this year. And so that's 100 years, and there has been a book, at least one book, published every single year from 1925 to 2025. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a single book from every year from 1925 all the way up to 2025, which, to be fair, by the time I finish this challenge, it could be 2026, it could be 2027, I don't know, but it will go up to 2025 and then we'll see how it goes. Like I say, I'm not putting pressure on myself in terms of a time scale to finish this, but I do want it to be relatively regular, just so that you as my viewers of this channel can kind of keep on board, keep on top of the challenge with me and kind of follow along. So it's not like I'm going to now stop doing every other kind of content and only focus on this challenge. That's not the case at all. It may be that I only get a chance to do one of these challenge video updates every couple of months. We'll see. I'm not setting myself any expectations or targets. But I wanted to just come on and quickly tell you that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to introduce it in this week's video. So I'm starting off with 1925. So another thing, sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit. I'm quite excited about this challenge, can you tell? Some people have done it in a really jumbled up way. So they've taken their 100 years, they've put it into, say, like a random number generator, and they're letting a random generator pick which year they go for. And that allows them to kind of break up some of the kind of more old-fashioned texts. And I say that because obviously our writing style has changed quite a lot over 100 years, and a book written in 1925 is going to be written in a very different way to one written now. So I think a lot of readers have kind of mashed it up a little bit so that it kind of makes it a little bit easier to do the challenge, and that's not me judging by that way. I think that's an absolutely valid way, and I think if I was just doing this for me personally, as in just me as a reader wanting to enjoy a reading challenge, I might consider doing that as well. But I really want to see how writing style has evolved and changed, and how the selection of topic, the development of characters, how people create plots, and I kind of want to see how that's changed over the last 100 years. And obviously it's going to be very hard only reading a single book from each year, but I'm hoping that it'll give me a real kind of sense of how things are adapting, how things are changing. I'll be able to see maybe any similarities or any differences. So that's kind of the thing. I'm starting in 1925 and I'm going to work my way up to 2025. In terms of selecting the books, I am going to basically Google books published in novels, because I want this to be fiction only. Just makes it a lot easier for me to read a fiction book. So it's going to be fiction only, and I'm going to Google. Well, I already have done for a few of them. I'm looking at my screen right now. I've already Googled a few of them. In fact, what I'll do is I'll screen share. If I move over here, I'll screen share and I'll pop up here the screen that I've worked on. So you'll see from this that I've already selected up to 1935 in terms of the books that I'm going to read. And I did that because I wanted, first of all, when I was researching this challenge, to work out if I thought it was going to be good for me. I wanted to know if I thought that this was going to work and if I could find books from each year that I was interested in reading. So all I did was literally put 1925, fiction books published in 1925 into Google, and then it comes up with Google Books, the list. And I was kind of looking through, I think I might have gone onto like Wikipedia as well to have a look at certain times. And I looked through some of the titles, I read the blurbs to find out what the books were about. And then I just picked ones that I thought would be interesting to me. So the very first book that I've selected for 1925 is The Painted Veil by W. Somerset Maugham. Now, I have definitely heard of this, but I haven't read it, so I'm going to be very excited. And I'll pop the book cover up here and also pop the blurb up here so you can see, because I haven't done due diligence and I haven't reread the blurb before I started recording this video. I should have done, and then I could have summarised the blurb to you now. But I'll pop it up on screen anyway so you can read that as I'm talking. And yeah, the idea is now is that I will go away and I will read. I'm not sure what this piece of hair's doing. Wild piece of hair in the background. My hair is wild today. Look at it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Ignore it. Ignore it. You can't see it. You can't see it. It's not there. Don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, so the idea is I'm now going to go away and I'm going to read The Painted Veil, and then I will do a little review video, and I'm going to try and keep them relatively short. You'll notice that this video is nice and short, and I don't honestly know how these videos are going to fit into the schedule. It may be that I do them as little bonus videos alongside more main videos. So in some weeks you might get a main video and you might get one of these little reviews. Or if it's a particularly quiet week and I don't have anything else going on, you might get this as a main video. As in this week. This week I was hoping and intending to publish my video on thinspirational books, which I've been talking about working on for a while now, but I'm still not quite happy and I've still got a little bit more reading to do. So that's why I decided to swap the weeks around. I was originally going to introduce this challenge next week, but I've swapped the weeks around just to make it a little bit easier on myself. So yeah, I'm going to try and keep the reviews relatively short, and I'm not necessarily going to review them in terms of a full review of the book itself, but what I'll do is I'll come on, I'll have a little chat about the book and I'll briefly summarise it, and then I'll mainly talk about what my thoughts are around it, around the way that it's been written, some of the cultural context, etc. And then we'll move on to the next year. So yeah, that's it. That's what I'm thinking. And I might completely fail, but you know what? Failure is fine. I might get to like 1930 and be like, this is a slog. And just for the record as well, I am leaving out books that I've already read. So I will not be reading The Great Gatsby because I have read that book far too many times. So things like that, if I've already read them, I'm not. I'm going to challenge myself to read something new in the era as well. So yes, that's it. That is the challenge. That's what I'm trying to do. What do you think? Do you think that this is madness? Do you think it's achievable? Have you tried something similar? Let me know what you think, because if this is an absolutely terrible idea, then maybe I'll back out. Now what? I'm not going to back out. I'm not going to back out of it. I do want to do it. I definitely want to try it. If I fail, then that's absolutely fine as well, because I am sure that I will get a certain number of years through. It's just how long it's going to take me to get 100 years through is the question. So yes, I will leave this video here. Thank you very much for watching this very brief video this week. I am sorry that it's kind of a shorter, quickier one. Quickier? Oh, God. It's not that I'm trying to be a published author and putting my videos out on the internet for everybody to see and then coming out with a word like quickier. I don't even really know where to go from there. I feel like I should just quit the internet now. Yes, I will leave this here. Thank you for watching this very quick video from me this week. Next week, I will be back with more content, maybe the inspirational video if that is done by then. If not, it'll be something else. I am committed to hopefully continuing to put out a video every week. But as I've mentioned before, I am fully freelance as a marketing consultant as well. So if there is a week where I miss, or if the video is a little bit later in the week, thank you very much for your patience in advance, because I am trying my hardest and trying my best to get these videos done for you. Okay, thank you very much, and I will see you next week. Bye.